Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Myself and Cian Menton here again for the preview show, the League of Ireland preview show. Cian, a good bit to talk about really, but I'll just get your thoughts quickly on the Rapid Vienna Dundalk game, which finished 4-3 to Rapid Vienna. What are your thoughts generally?
I think it's a lot of regret from Dundalk. Look, they were there for the taking. No offence, but if you score 3 goals in Europe, you can't be losing a game. In saying that, they went ahead. Don't ask me what the keeper was doing. I don't know. But they were 1-0 up. Right, they have a chance. But typical Irish mentality. Sit back. Start just sitting back, and look, they caught them then. Look, I'm not just saying typical Irish performance. It's not like that. Then they got it back. Then they start playing again. They got the reward. And then all of a sudden it's a draw again, and then they get the reward then again from the penalty, and so they kind of made hard work of it. But like Dundalk could have easily won that. There's no question about it. You're looking at the scoreline, you're saying, Jesus, that flatters them because they weren't 4 goals better than Dundalk. Well, they only won by 1, but they didn't deserve to score 4 goals against Dundalk. Individual mistakes. We've seen it in the Emirates last week. With Gary Rogers this week with McCurdy, and it's a shame to you don't mind if they use that moment of brilliance like that first goal or something like that. And saying that, I think the first goal you probably should have got that as well. But you don't mind the moment of brilliance beating you, but it's when individual mistakes, costly mistakes, are beating you. Like, such a shame, Like, I'm not gonna say they would have drew the game if that situation at the corner, because look, in that situation they probably wouldn't have given a penalty away up the top end, so they wouldn't have won it probably. Look, you can't say what way the game was going to go after that, but considering they got it back to a draw later on, they'd be disappointed.
2-2 though, did a great chance, didn't they? The header that just went wide.
Slugger had a header,
yeah. And I think Rapid scored pretty much straight away, and they're the margins as well, aren't they? Though
that's it. Look, you're not going to get 2 chances in Europe to stick the ball in the net. I thought Mickey Duffy had a great chance as well. Just before the break, he got through. Flores played him. It's disappointing, I have to say. I'd say there's a lot of regret out of the games that Dundalk played so far. That's the one they deserve something out of at least. To be honest, I think that team would have been sitting on the plane the way home tonight, giving out that they drew that game. Never mind lost it. So, I think it's a big regret for Dundalk.
Do you think, I've seen a few Dundalk fans had issue with Gary Rogers being dropped for McCary and Brian Gartland in particular not playing? Would you take issue with any of those decisions?
No, look, like I says, I think Cleary and Sean Hart are just as good as Brian Gartland. I think Gary probably could have played. I thought McCurdy probably could have played the other night against Pats if they were going to do it that way. But it seems to be, a chop change keeper thing there. I don't think he knows his best keeper yet himself. I think we know Gary Rogers is without doubt the best keeper. But I don't think he knows who's his best keeper at the minute, because, or unless he says, look, till the end of the season, it's a free shot, we're trying better players. I don't know what way it's done there in Dundalk, but I'm not a fan of chopping and changing a keeper.
No, I'm not at all either.
But in fairness, individual mistakes from Gary Rogers last week as well. So, and look, Brian Garton played a full game against Pats there on Saturday. So I know it was a bit of a break, but the fella's 33 years of age, and by no means finished now. I'm not saying he's finished. He's fantastic still. What a player. But, you have to rotate, and like, people were looking at the Dundalk team today and giving out against Pats. And what I mean? They're giving out then against, like, look at the strength and depth you have. You're bringing off Cleary against Pats, and you're bringing on Andy Boyle. Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, holy Jesus. You're taking off Sean Gannon in the Europa League game and bringing on John Mounty to play right wing back. I honestly don't know what there is to complain about. I really don't.
I know, it's like picking between your favourite sweets, isn't it?
Like, I'm telling you now, like, we take off playing Georgie Kelly, who's not that great. We have Jordan Gibson. You know, we take off a winger, we have James Downey. Do you know
Don't
what
get
I
me
mean?
started.
Like, what I'm saying is, people, I think that Dundalk team is as good on paper. It has more strength and depth than Shamrock Rovers. More strength and depth now. I think,
Possibly, yeah.
like you seen it even last night. Look, I know they won the league, but you can see.
We'll transition into that now. So we'll talk about Rovers and Pats now. Obviously 0-0. So go on ahead.
No, what I was saying was, like, you look from the Dundalk side, I think they've serious strength and depth. Like, but you look at Rovers, and Jack Bourne wasn't hitting it, which you'd expect. He got hit bad with the COVID, and
that really told actually, didn't it, on him? He looked out of his depth, actually,
and
funnily enough.
Graham Burke went off, and they lacked that creativity. That's what I'm saying. I think Dundalk overall have the better squad of players. I'm not saying they're better individuals. But
in my view, I think, my personal view, I think Rovers 1 to 11 is better, if you know what I mean.
1 to 11.
11. But you're right, I preferred the depth in Dundalk's squad, to be honest with you.
So, no, well, we got on to the Pats game.
Yeah. Moving on.
So, look, I think, first of all, let's start with Rovers, first of all. And I think they were in party mode. But at the same time, like, Pats weren't there just to play a part in it, and they showed from minute one. Like, honestly, I think every single player was up for it. I was looking at Rovers and I was disappointed in the way they played, considering they're champions. Not that you love to see, well, obviously not against Pats now, but against other teams, you like to see them strut their stuff and playing. But they have the quality. It took 2 chances there. Marshall was in, 1 pass, Marshall was in, took 2 players out. Lucky enough, he missed. And then they had a great chance the other end when they went out to 10-man with Grainer up the top. But they're the only 2 chances in the whole game that Rovers really got in. They we caused our own problems for a header in the first half from a corner. Georgie Kelly nearly put it in the back net. But that apart from them 3 chances, I don't think Rovers actually opened Pats up at all. I think Pats were very comfortable in the game. If you put a man there that had an absolutely zero clue about League of Ireland, people would say Pats were the champions there last night.
You'd certainly be shocked, Cian, if you're told that Pats were so low on the table and only scored so many goals, blah blah blah. And I think what was there for 5-5-6 basically 5 wins, 5 draws, 6 defeats. But Pats, like, it was a strange one because Pats proved that they can play they've drawn against Rovers twice this season. They were strong there in the middle. The 2 centre halves, Desmond and McNally, were both outstanding. The 2 midfielders, particularly Benson and Forrester, off the ball, by the way, and on the ball, were both outstanding. And you're looking at Pats saying there's a nucleus of a team there. What let them down and what has let them down is the attacking areas, the final threat, isn't it?
Yeah,
but you can't take away from the overall performance with Pats. It's an excellent performance, and it gives them a chance going into Monday's game of getting into Europe.
Yeah, look, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but you're coming away from watching Pats play Dundalk, and you're looking at Pats play Rovers, and you're saying,
at least one of them.
No, you're saying we dropped 4 points.
That's what I mean.
It's madness to think we dropped 4 points in them games because they were, I don't know. I was frustrated because, we're coming off the game there on Saturday. It was Saturday night, Pats and Dundalk, wasn't
it? Yeah.
We're coming off Saturday night, and look, I was so disappointed going home. And last night I was even more disappointed because, we played fantastically well. And it's annoying.
On and off the ball, it's a big thing to say there.
To be honest with you, that's the first time in about 6 years I've seen Chris Forrester make a tackle. He's not.
He made a few tackles.
Yeah, but Chris Forrester was not a tackling man. Chris Forrester is a player when we have the ball. So look, I'm delighted for Chris. He looks to be getting back there, but he's a long way to go to get anywhere near where he was, and he knows that himself. But if we get what we got last night out of Chris, we'll be doing all right. I'm looking again.
Robbie as well.
What a hard working side. Like we're not going to set the world alight. We know that. But in saying that, one or two players maybe in the attacking areas, like I said, an exciting player, get you out your feet, run at the defenders, a dynamic, direct player. I think Pats need. Like,
funny enough, Keane, I think Gibson, funny enough, is that. But we saw in the game against Dundalk and Shamrock Rovers, he lacks composure. He's no composure. Great pace, works hard, but he's no composure. I mean, that chance that man is saved. All he has to do is play to one of the corners, Keane. Any corner, that's a goal. He basically, if McManus tried to get out of the way, he probably would have stopped it. You know, that kind of way.
Look, it's frustrating to think the chance we had there. Oh, it'd be a different story if we weren't creating them. That's another side of it. And, we're getting there, we're creating them. I think it's only a matter of time before Gibbo puts one in the net for us. But, I have to say, you can't fault the work rate, you can't fault the effort. And
I will kind of argue with that. I agree with you. But there's some games in they play the so-called lesser teams where they're not on it, and that's something they really have to change, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Since, like, even if Finn Harps, I think they show fantastic character. They showed the fight, the determination. But I think it's, like I said, the last time we've seen a Pats team getting beaten, was probably Waterford. I don't think we've got beaten since that, really. And, that shows you we've turned the corner. Look, it hasn't been a great corner now. We turned.
On the Watch LOI or RT, whichever you're watching on, Alan Cawley said the Pats have had a soft underbelly for a while. And that is the case, isn't it? That's something they're trying to change, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, we're definitely trying to change that. But, we're not a million miles off the top either. Like, I really don't. Like, Rovers have been the best team in the country this year by a mile. But, like, I really don't think Pats are that far off them. I really don't think Dundalk are that far off them. I really don't think Bows are that far off them. I think Pats might be a little bit behind Bows and Dundalk for challenging. But, like, we're not a million miles off them in the slightest, like. And, I wouldn't be fearful of playing Shamrock Rovers. And I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. Teams are coming to Talent and playing Rovers, and they're playing the edge of their 18-yard box. I think Pats last night, was probably the first time since the Dundalk game when there was 7,000 at it that Rovers actually got a put up to them. That team actually says, you know what, I'm not afraid of you, let's go for it. And it showed, it paid off. And look, credit to Stephen O'Donnell. He got it absolutely spot on. He's had his critics, but the last couple of weeks he's got that absolutely spot on.
No, he has, in fairness. Playoff final as such, if you like, on Friday in the first division, because obviously the winners played a team that finishes 9th in the Premier Division. Longford Town and Galway United. I'm laughing here because I'm thinking of tossing a coin, basically. What do you think of this one? It's a huge game for both clubs, though, isn't it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one now. This tasty one now. I think we'll probably have a look at that on live, will we?
We might do, actually.
I think it'll be a good. I'm looking forward to it. It's an exciting game. Look, I'm gonna go for Longford here because I went for Longford all the way through. I did say from literally since we started doing this that Longford are going to get promoted. I said they were going to win it, but it seems that they're in this position. Look, I'm going to say Longford. But I honestly can't pick. I know I'm saying Longford, but in my head I'm thinking Galway. I just don't know.
So I think, Keane, because in general, both teams, I know Longford scored 3 against UCD. Having said that, 2 of them were in extra time, weren't they? So they've got 1 in the 90. Both teams don't score too many goals, do they? So, it's easy to say this will be a cage game, but I genuinely think it could be won by literally a goal. It could go all the way to penalties. Who knows?
But I don't know. I just think Longford have the advantage here, considering the way they won the last game. I know Galway scored late as well, and they beat, let's say, they're supposed to be champions in Bray. But at the same time, I just fancy Longford. I just do. You've seen that strike in the last couple of minutes. That confidence alone, you could pick. They're going to feel 10 foot tall going into this game now. after being on the floor. They were on the floor. Like, Wexford hammered them. So, it's funny how things work in these playoffs. But, this is a game that I'm excited about. And look, I hopefully a lot of people tune in for this because this is the game of the weekend.
Oh, definitely. What's noticeable about Galway as well, they tend to have a super sub coming off the bench scoring the winner, don't they? I mean, how many times has that happened to them? You know all about the likes of Enda Curran, we know about Mikey Place and players like that, but Ubazuna, the South African, has come off the bench and scored a couple of goals. And a few other players have done so as well. Young Higgins hasn't been getting in the team either, notably, who's rated reasonably highly in Galway. That's interesting, isn't it? So obviously, John has gone for a bit of experience in midfield and that kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't know what could be happening. You could be going to, let's say, Sligo, who's just down the road, or you could be, you know what I mean.
Actually, do you know what, Cian? I heard a possible rumor at UCD, so maybe he's going to study in UCD. Cian, I'm going to go for Galway, by the way, because you went for Longford, and I just think Caulfield will pull it off. But big game. Yeah, we might have a look at that on Friday. On the Saturday then, and obviously the rearranged fixture of Shamrock Rovers and Derry City. It's a bit messy, this one, because we know that the games have been pushed back from a Sunday to a Monday, the final round. Now, it's tricky in a lot of ways. Obviously, from Derry's point of view, they're on 2 weeks isolation, so I don't know what condition, to be honest, they're going to be in.
What condition were they in before the isolation?
They love that, won't they? But Rovers as well, they've a big game with Shelbourne on Monday. We'll get on to that later.
Yeah.
Rovers are going to have to either play a weaker side in this match or a weaker side in the Shelbourne match. I know people say, Rovers is a great squad, blah, 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 blah. But even so, it's not much of a gap. A day recovery, essentially.
That's exactly what I said. I said it there with Dundalk. If Dundalk had these two games close together, you won't be worried. You won't be saying about the squad selection because they have two fantastic squads. And I think that's one thing. I think Rovers will tidy that up. They will get a couple of players in. There's no question about it. I think a couple of fringe players will go out. And, they might look at bringing up a couple of players like the likes of a Dane Williams. You don't know what's going on, but I would say they're going to play their strong team on Saturday if they're not too drunk. But it's going to be mad, I think, to see what's going to happen there. But look, they're a grounded group. They want to go and win that cup now. They're not going to be pissed up. I've no doubt about it. They're not going to be pissed up. It's a strange one. It's hard to call, but look, I have to go Shamrock Rovers win here.
I was just going to say with Derry, though, just assuming Shamrock Rovers do win, Derry will be 2 points above 9th going into the last game, So I agree with you. I do think Rovers will win because I do think they'll play their stronger side here. And also, I do think that Derry might find it difficult 2 weeks in isolation. That we saw with Pats sort of when they came back against Harps and they struggled for the chunk of the game anyway. You know what I mean? Certainly the start. I do think Rovers will have too much for Derry. Right, guys, on to Monday's matches. These are the last games of the season in the league, I must add. Cork City and Derry City. We'll move on to that game because, look, take it that Derry City are beaten, right, at Shamrock Rovers. I know Derry City fans won't like that, but we'll just say it for now. They're beaten at Shamrock Rovers. They go to Cork. It's possible they need to get a win here. Do you see them going to Cork and getting the win? The other side, Cian, is I'm just thinking to myself, from Derry's point of view, we talked about the isolation, right? Do they play a very strong team against Rovers on Saturday and then go and play a very strong team on Monday again? There's not much recovery.
There's not much recovery. There's not much time. But it's these two games and that's it. So I think then they might go and play the two.
I'd be tempted, Cian. I know it sounds funny, but I would be tempted to target the Cork City game big time because, you need a couple of days, muscles, fatigue, etc. It doesn't just clear in a day, does it?
No, but, I do. I think Derry will have enough to overcome Cork. But, I don't think they're going to be putting out any second string sides against anyone here. I think that if they go out and they put a performance in against Shamrock Rovers, they won't have to worry about what team they put out on Sunday or on the following Tuesday or Monday. I don't even know when the games are.
Thanks, CPI, for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I must add, though, if Derry get a point, they're grand. The goal difference.
That's what I'm saying.
way ahead in goal difference. So I do think they'll be okay, if I'm honest. What I'm getting at, basically, I don't think they'll be dragged into it, in my opinion. I think they might just be okay. Do you?
Yeah, look, I think, to be honest, so you don't know what's going to happen when, like, if these get hockey, I hope they don't, but if they get hockeyed by Shamrock Rovers, all of a sudden then, like, it puts a lot of pressure then. And look, I'm obviously hoping for Harps to win as well, so, like, could make it very tasty.
On to Dundalk and Sligo before we get to those matches, Keane. Dundalk are obviously third and 26 points. Sligo are fifth and 22 points. Waterford are in between them. Dundalk just need a point to be sure. Do you think they'll get it at Oriel Park in Sligo?
Yeah, I think Dundalk will be fine. I'm hoping Dundalk will be fine, to be honest. As a Pats fan, I think we need Dundalk to be fine as well. So, I'm going to go for Dundalk here. I'm going to go for Dundalk 1-0 or 2-0. But, like, not an easy one, but I think Dundalk will win it.
Yeah, Sligo actually have to win here, by the way, to possibly.
That won't happen, Keith. That won't happen.
That won't happen. Liam Buckley won't do it, so.
I'm going down to the mask tomorrow.
It's been a disappointing, though, last few weeks, really, though, hasn't it, for Sligo Rovers? I mean, talked about
favourites for Europe 3-4 weeks ago, favourites for Europe, and it's disappointing.
They got third, Kane. They seem to rattle them for some reason.
Yeah, it's disappointing for Sligo. Yeah. But look, if you were at the start there, at lockdown there, when they were bottom of the table and no points, you know what I mean? People are looking and they're saying, "Jesus, we'll take it probably a 9th spot at this stage." So considering where they are in the league, they've done fantastically well. I love them, I really do, and I'm a big fan of his, and I've no doubt they're going to be a serious force next year. But look, they could very easily go and win now in Oriel, and kind of upset the party there a little bit for everyone. But it's in Sligo's hands as well. If they win the game, they've a great chance of getting in there. If it's a draw, it's a little bit like that. They'd be disappointed then. But I don't think personally. Like, I don't think Waterford deserve fourth. I don't think Pats deserve fourth. I don't think Sligo deserve fourth at the minute. Someone has to finish fourth. I honestly don't think Waterford deserve it either. They've done really well. I think they deserve it more than Pats and Sligo. But
I think whoever gets fourth ultimately deserves it. If you get me, like, you know what I mean.
I really don't. Now, like, I really don't. I think Waterford. I don't think they 100% deserve it, but they've had the most points. They've got the results. They've dug deep. They beat Pats, stuff like that. They beat Pats twice, and you're looking and you're saying, look, they deserve it. But the other side of it, saying, like, the other teams, how did Waterford finish ahead of us? And that's an absolute credit to everybody in Waterford, the players. That's what I'm talking about there, what they've done, and it's going to be tasty here the last couple of games with Rovers, and then we have the 10 games on Monday night.
Moving on to St. Patrick and Bohemians in Inchicore, and obviously Pats are still somehow in with a chance, Cian, here. If they win against Bows, they will finish ahead of Waterford, providing Waterford lose against Finn Harps, because Pats' goal difference will be stronger. Never mind that in a way. Do you think Pats can beat Bohemians at Richmond Park? I'll give you an argument here that works in Pats' favour. Bows have the cup to look forward to.
Bows have the cup to look forward to, but at the same time, I wouldn't even worry about Bows at this minute in time. Looking at the way Pats played the last 2 games, and looking at the way we came back against Finn Harps, I've seen enough to see Pats can go and get 3 points. I don't think we'll be beaten. I really don't think Pats will be beaten, and I think hopefully with a bit of luck we stick one in the net. And I think we'll win this, but we don't deserve to be in Europe. Like I said earlier on, that really don't deserve to be in Europe.
That's irrelevant, Cian, in terms of just Pats have to go out and try and win the game.
That's it.
Whatever happens elsewhere. If they don't get in, they don't get in. And you're right, they probably don't deserve to get in, but deserve it kind of
Yeah.
irrelevant.
We'll take it if you get it. We'll take it.
Oh, absolutely, like, in
You'll
fairness,
see,
but
you'll see
but I
me behind the goal now. Finn Harp score. Yeah.
some crack, yeah.
Clarky, Finn Harp score.
Don't tell him that. But no, I think you're right though. You touched on it there though. I do think if Pats win, they have to keep it tight in the back because I can't see Pats getting 2 goals.
He will, though. I think he will.
Might need one to win it, I think.
I think Pats will keep it tight at the back. I don't think we concede. I really don't. They have a fantastic back 5 at the minute, back 4/5/6 if you were that Clarky in there. I think Pats now are fairly solid.
Obviously, the one player they really, really have to watch is Danny Grant, because for me, he's been the best winger in the league this season.
Yeah, what a player he is. And, it's waiting for the cup final to turn around. People won't be there because nobody can tap him up. But, Danny is a superior player. Danny is, he's the player to watch. It was Twardek. It's now Danny Grant. And, my nerves are gone already. I know that's why I was going mad considering it was put back another day. I think it's a bit of a disgrace to mill 5 games for 1 game. But look, we can't be crying over that. It's done now. But it's Pats have in the last couple of weeks. When I say we don't deserve to be Europe over the course of the season, but in the last couple of weeks, I think Pats, in the last 3 or 4 games, let's say, kind of deserve it in a way to be in with a shout.
1 defeat in 7 league matches.
Yeah, it's great, and we're not conceding a lot of goals. I think apart from them 2 chances, which you're going to concede chances, every team is going to get a chance in a game. 2 chances. So, considering Dundalk didn't get probably 1.5 decent chances, and considering Rovers got 2, which one definitely clear cut, and the other one kind of a half a chance. But considering if we're keeping teams out like that, we just need to then add the quality up the other end and stick one in, because if we're keeping clean sheets, we're not. We're not going to drop many points if we can stick them in the net at the top end. That's been our problem. But I don't know. I don't think Bowes is going to rest. I think Bowes are going to come. They're going to play. Cup places up for grabs here. Everyone will want to play against Dundalk. And then considering the next game is at Lown Town, which, if whoever finishes 4th, which hopefully will be Pats, will be praying on Bowes or Dundalk to be at Lown, just in case. There'll be nothing worse than getting yourself into 4th and at Lown win the cup.
Yeah, that'd be typical of having to pour Waterford, actually.
Honestly, I think, I said, Pats, that'd be the worst possible result for Pats now the weekend if Pats lose and or Pats draw and the other 2 teams, Finn Harps go and win, and Dundalk get something as well. So I think Pats just have to do their job. I kind of have a bit of faith now. Well, obviously I'm going to have faith, but look, I feel something here, and I feel like, could be a special night in Richmond.
I'm going to go for a draw on the basis that when I go for Pats to win. Hang on a second, I'm not finished. When Pats win, when I say Pats win, they never win. So it'd be ridiculous for me to say Pats are going to win game.
I don't know. I think it could be interesting on Monday night in Richmond now. I think, I'm not just saying that, but I think there's a lot of emphasis on this Pats game because it's involving Waterford. It's involved now. Look, Waterford can go win that game if they're in Europe. That's it. But what I'm saying is, if Waterford don't win that game, they're looking at Pats. Sligo then are looking at Pats game as well. So it's a bit of excitement.
I do like that, the way every game nearly has something riding on it.
But it's disappointed that they're all on at the same time.
Yeah, but you can understand it as well, Cian. It's annoying in that way, but could you imagine some team knowing the result and parking the bus? I hate that. Anyway, Finn Harps and Waterford. Obviously, this is arguably the game of the night, really, because
this is the one that means something.
Yeah, this is the one that means is crucial to the both two teams that are playing. Finn Harps have to win this. No matter what happens elsewhere, Finn Harps have to win this. Waterford, we don't know, but they need a point anyway. They definitely need a point. Well, they don't definitely need a point, but they think they need a point. A point is enough for them to get fourth. The pitch won't be in brilliant condition. I'm not sure how much better condition it will be in, judging by the last few days of that. It's a difficult one. From Finn Harp's point of view as well, like typical as well, the 3 or 4 home matches in a row when the pitch is in terrible condition, it just makes it harder for them. Do Waterford have the guts to go up here? Because they will need guts, they will need balls and all those words that go with it to go up here and get a point. Or can Finn Harps go and bully them like they often do with teams, Cian? They did in the RSC, by the way. They went there.
It's easy to say they need balls, they need this and that. Like, we went to every game and they need that. But it's easy to say, it's easy to shout these buzzwords out to that team and then they're going out there. But it's a different story showing it. And I don't think Waterford have shown it, even though they're fourth. I haven't seen a game where they dug really, really deep to win a game. They beat Pats easy.
Probably Pats and Inchicore in the first game of the season. That was the one, I'd say.
I'm talking about since lockdown, really, and they beat Pats easy. They beat Bows easy. I know Rovers hockeyed them, but they haven't really, let's say, dug deep apart from that Pats game, I wouldn't say. And that's something that they'll obviously want to change. There's a lot riding on this now. This is the first time in a long time that Waterford are in a position to sail their own fate here. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'll be getting the updates. I'll obviously be at the Pats game, so I'll be behind the goal looking at bleeding nerves. I might bring me 6 laptops. But, I'm looking at it. I'm saying, imagine Finn Harp won. It'd be great for them, considering, and then it turns into Shelbourne then Derry could be in there, and it's
Derry could be in there, very much so.
It's I'd love to be in Finn Harp's position at the minute. I would prefer to be in Finn Harp's position than Shelbourne at the minute.
The only thing is Shelbourne, I think with the rearrangement of the fixtures, it does help Shelbourne a little bit more playing Rovers.
Well, Finn Harp's went there again, and that all of a sudden then
Shelbourne will need a point because their goal difference is 3 goals better. So Harps, I don't think will win 3 or 4-0. Like, you know what I mean? So
what?
No, but genuinely, Shelbourne's chances of getting a point against Rovers increases due to the fact that Rovers play Derry on the Saturday and Rovers have to play again on Monday. For me, anyway, I definitely think it increases. We'll stay in Finn Harps kind of for the minute, but Finn Harps and Waterford. But I honestly, I'm finding it difficult. I've been thinking about this the last few days, and I'm finding it very difficult to predict here.
Harps win all day. Come on.
I think my head is telling me Harps.
Yeah.
But Waterford can dig deep once and get a point. Obviously, that'll be enough for them. But I just think Harps might. I think Harps.
Come on, play it. Come on.
2-1 to Harps. More nervous though, honestly. Shelbourne or Finn Harps?
Shelbourne.
I think they'll be more nervous. Yeah.
I think Finn Harps are used to this. This is what Ollie threw.
This is my point of getting to actually Cian. Yeah. If Finn Harps finish 9th, I think personally they'd be more confident in the playoffs than Shelbourne would be. That's my personal opinion. If they finish.
Imagine Shelbourne up against Galway and Longford at the minute.
Yeah, because they do look like their confidence is on the floor at the minute as well. Obviously, on to the Shelbourne Rovers game. It is at Dundalk Park, though, in fairness. And we have spoken the fact that Shelbourne.
Playing there.
What's that?
Rovers will be used to playing there.
That's true. That's another one. Yeah. Although this set of players won't, but I watch them travel around a lot. To be fair, but you see it though. I mean, that has to have an effect on the Derry game the Saturday, and then they're playing the Monday. If you were a Shelbourne fan, and which you're clearly not a Shelbourne fan, wouldn't you be a little bit more confident though, having the fixtures?
100%. I'd feel confident enough to get a point off that Shamrock Rovers team.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they'll be taken into account. They got a fantastic point in Tallaght Stadium. When you say a fantastic point, they sat on the edge of their 18-yard box. They rode that look a couple of times. In saying that, they could have popped down the other end. Kilduff had a great chance in that game. But, you know, I don't think they can sit back.
But at the same time, Ian Morris would be looking for that commitment, a desire from the team.
They're going to get that commitment and desire. I think that's a given, considering the game we're in here.
But particularly for what they showed against that loan, I think the players will be more determined because there wasn't much commitment and desire there. Let's be honest about it.
I think they might pick up a point here, considering the game. But you know, you look at Rovers' second team. When you say second team, like Reece Marsh, Daniel Lafferty, do you know what I mean? These are for usually.
When you play a so-called, you're right. When you play a so-called second team, though, a lot of the time it's a case of, you know, a lot of players, you know, are bunched together that maybe haven't played together too often, and you know what I mean. The individuals, it's a bit different.
You know, I'm looking at like Daniel Lafferty will probably play, or Sean Kavanagh, one the other. Either one of them is going to play in that Shelbourne side tomorrow if he had a chance. If Shells had a chance. Then you're looking at the right side. It's either going to be Ronan Finn or it's going to be Reece Marshall. Two of them are better than what Shells have at the minute. You're looking at the back line, they've Scales, they've Grace, they've Joey. Joey is back. So Joey will definitely play this game, I've no doubt. Cause,
very game.
So, you know, you have Joey O'Brien, you're either going to have Pico Lopez beside him and Lee Grace, or you're going to have Liam Scales thrown in that mix as well. Every single one of that Rovers team that's going to play on Monday night is going to start in that Shelbourne side. That's what I'm getting at here. Midfielders, strikers, wingers, the lot, whatever you want to call the wing backs. But I do. I think they're going to be a big test for Shelbourne. It'll show how far they've come after that loss and that loan. If they can get something out of this game. Look, I'm a big fan of Ian. I say it every week. I really am. Huge fan of Ian Morris and what he's trying to do here at Shelbourne. But, you know, they've given themselves, it's in their own fate now. It wasn't in their own hands last week. It was thankfully Rovers beat Harps for Shelbourne's sake. So now it's back in Shelbourne's arms. They can sort their own fate on Monday night. And that's exactly what you want going into the last game of the season.
I have a funny feeling they're going to get a point, and I have a funny feeling Finn Harps are going to win. And that would prove to be sickening for Finn Harps because they'd be level on points with Shelbourne, really.
I'm excited for this round of fixtures. Like, you know, Europe isn't sorted yet. Relegation isn't sorted yet. And, you know, there's a little bit to play for here. So I'm looking forward to it.
There is every single game. It's something to play for, Cian. Every single game. Can't wait for it. Monday evening, guys, not Sunday. It's Monday evening, 7:30. All of these are kicking off. So we'll leave it there, guys. Like, subscribe, and hit your bell notification button. And Cian, thanks as usual.
Thanks, bud.